How's it
everybody?
going? My name is Ellie. I'm here today with Nick Longo.
How are you?
I'm good. How are
New
you
best
doing?
friend?
I know. I know. I feel like we've crossed paths so many times.
I know.
But I'm excited to be
This is
here
gonna be
together
great.
in person.
Totally.
So thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching on Behance, please say hello. Let us know where you guys are watching from in the chat. And we should be able to see the YouTube chat in a second too. So let us know. Hello, Oliver's here, Paca's here, Sean's here. And if you guys have questions as we're going through, please feel free to pop those in the chat and we'll try to answer as many as possible. Nick is gonna be doing some branding work today.
Yeah.
We're gonna be working in Dimension and then Express and playing around with some photography backdrops, and it's gonna be awesome. So you guys are gonna learn a lot.
Yeah. The mission is to kind of show you guys how to make some really cool product photography backgrounds using both Express and Dimension. So
There you go.
it's a cool little combo. I don't think we've put these two together as like a mashup.
I'm really excited to
fun.
see how this is all gonna come together. So we have Heba, we have Unicorn. Yes, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, feel free to just ask questions as we go and we can hop right in. Get going.
Perfect.
We've
Let's
got an
do
hour.
it. Let's do it. Are we ready?
We're ready.
All right. So the mission here, we do a lot of product packaging, design, and in most cases, it's at the time when you're showing the client off, right?
Yeah.
You don't have physical samples. Maybe it's like showing different varieties of packaging designs at the same time, and you're trying to get the client to kind of just understand it just right. This is where the backgrounds and these cool things that you see in all of the packaging blogs kind of come through. So I want to show a few things here that show the importance of this idea. One, you really can get this idea of transforming your product into something cool. This is consumer perception, right? You do photography. You know the importance of how important it is for the props and everything that should be there as well. And then little things like this, like going from mundane to memorable, like putting it in the environment, showing it there with the right props, the right backgrounds, and it should kind of follow the same creative brief as like whatever you've established with the client.
You're giving it a story.
Totally, right? The power of context, right? This is how you elevate it. I love this one too for Halo Top. It was a great idea. But when you are lost for kind of like what you can actually use in the background for your comps, there's a really cool way to combine both Adobe Express and Dimension and create some really incredible, just like this, just like the inspiration you're finding, to really show off and highlight and give it to the client. And we're gonna even try to do something as simple as like as kind of unique as this. So it's even like propping it. When you guys do this, what's one of your biggest like rules as far as shooting product photography for the brand or for a client?
Well, it has to fit with the brand.
Exactly.
Because
right?
if like people will ask like, okay, how do you come up with ideas? You start with the brand and what's the story that they're trying to tell, and instead of just going and looking up like cool product photos, you start with their story and you build your images from that.
Exactly.
Because you want everything to work together, live together, feel like it's a part of the same overall story.
I always say too, like, don't let the background be the star, right? The product is still your star, and that background is kind of the supporting element. It's kind of like a slide you would have behind you at a presentation. You want the focus on you, but you want it to supplement whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, and it has to make sense.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm starting in Illustrator, and this is where most packaging projects obviously live. These are two labels for a round canister of infant, toddler, baby formula. So what I did here was I have it laid out as a complete label, and just because of the time, we really want to spend more time in both Express and in Dimension. So I'm just taking this right now, and all I'm doing is I'm going to basically highlight everything here. And I've made a specific library here called Live Demo 23. If you're not using libraries, guys, like, my gosh, this is the best thing here. All you have to do truly is like kind of like option click on that and add to library. Everything will go over here, and you'll see what it's going to do is it's going to put it right here in your library. And then I'm going to go to the blue version as well and highlight that. A good tip on this, if you haven't used Dimension and you're taking things in from Illustrator, is give yourself a lot of excess bleed on your background, because when you're positioning it, you might find, oh, you're just shy of a little bit of the color, and you got to go back in, and it's not that hard, but it's like one of those things to do. I think you just
Save
kind of
yourself as much time as you can.
Exactly. We all have really good process flows, and we're trying to make sure we're doing it, you know, as fast as possible. So there we go. We got them both in there, and what I'm going to do is we're going to go over here to Dimension, and I have it here open somewhere. Where is our Dimension? Why is it not? There it is. Look at that. Okay, so This,
People are excited to see dimension.
Oh,
Joshua,
good.
Carol, they all say more dimension on
Nice.
Adobe. So
more dimension.
you're bringing it.
I think we need to make some t-shirts, right?
More
Okay.
dimension.
So if you guys haven't used Dimension yet, it's in your Creative Cloud library. It's an app you can download and experiment with. It needs no introduction. In fact, there's such good tutorials already on Adobe Live that you guys can check out. But this one here, what I did was these are those little canisters, and I'm just gonna go over here to the magnifier. And when I magnify these up, you're gonna see these are just basically the canisters that I created. There are great sources right there in the free library that you guys can use, or you can build something yourself. These are basically 3-cylinder discs that I put together.
Yeah.
One's plastic, the middle one's paper, and the bottom one is aluminum.
Yeah.
So these are just
cool.
imagine little discs that you made, right? Now, we're gonna go over here to our libraries and basically go back here, and we're gonna go to our live demo. And you can see they're right there waiting for you. I'm gonna take these and drop them over, and you literally just slide them right to the can or the actual object that you want it to be. And then you're just gonna take it and you're gonna just basically go a little bit bigger. And you're gonna see how cool this fits. And you can see as you turn it, you're getting this really cool idea of how it's gonna look. I always like this too because this might be the first time you're seeing your design on a 3D model.
Yeah.
And in most cases, I'm like, hey, good job. But sometimes you're like, what was I thinking? This is not working in any way, right?
Well, because it looks totally different once it's dimensional.
Exactly.
So you want to be able to see that before you go to print.
Yep.
And, you know, be able to make those changes here.
Especially things on a sphere and, you know, like
Yes.
particularly cans and things like this that are round. Now, what's neat about this is I can, you know, get this to the size it needs to. We'll kind of match, it looks about the same if I lower it right about there.
Yeah.
Now, when you're here, this is something I can have a lot of fun with. I can move this around,
That's
I can see
awesome.
exactly. You notice the lighting and everything is just natural, because what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go into Adobe Express, and we're gonna find a really cool background for this. And chat, we're gonna need, I think, your help a little bit here, because this is really where it gets a little bit fun. Okay, look at this window. It's just overwhelming what's in this
It's a
app.
lot. This app has become so powerful.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really neat to see what you could do.
Yeah.
I'm going right here to custom size. I know exactly what I want to do. And what I'm going to do is all of my artboards in Dimension are 16 by 9 ratio.
Okay.
So if I do the same thing here, I know my background's going to fit perfectly in Dimension, and then we're going to have a really good match. So I'm going to go 1600 by 900 here, and then we're going to create a new project. So here we get this brand new board ready to go. And have you been using this a lot as far as like text to image?
Yeah, I just started using it in Express.
Yeah.
Because we've been using it in Firefly, and
Yes.
it's so awesome. You don't have to like go into Firefly, download the image, upload it to
Exactly
Express.
right.
It's so much easier.
This is great. So
Yeah.
over on my Illustrator one, I wrote some prompts here. I hid these from you guys because I want to like show them now. So I think we're all learning prompts are so important,
Yeah.
and it's like good prompts in will give you a good result as far as what it's been generated. And the cool thing is from watching so much on the channel here, seeing that the team is understanding what words are working well, what words aren't, and I think it's like ever changing, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like learning a new language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the first one I have, and that's basically this one here, 3D product photography background.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got that there. Now we're gonna go over here. I'm gonna go over to our Express, and we're gonna do text to image. This is always the best one, and we can go to widescreen as well. And now we get this. So I'm just gonna drag it so we get the full screen and we can see what we're doing. All right, guys, here's the fun.
Awesome.
Let's put this first one in here. So I put 3D product photography background, right?
Yeah.
That's the first one I found that is actually starting to generate some of these really cool environments that may or may not match exactly what we're looking for. But what we're gonna do is see how it produces here. And we are coming, it's thinking. It's coming up with some good stuff
It's
here.
going. There we go.
All right,
That's
perfect.
awesome.
So look at these, like you can actually go through and see some of the options that it's giving you.
Yeah.
I think this one's got a really clean one as well.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good, okay? But let's customize it a bit more. So we're doing a toddler baby thing, right?
Yeah.
What could we add to here? So I'm gonna try, should I try maybe baby toys as props?
You could even be more specific and say like baby rattle or
Ooh.
something like that, or bottle. I don't know.
Yeah.
To
Let's
give it
try that.
more specific. If you guys have ideas, please drop them into the chat.
I'm gonna do that, and then here's the other thing I'm gonna do. We know we have like a baby blue and kind of a light purple.
Yes.
So customize your colors, guys. So let's go baby blue and light purple colors.
Okay.
Oh gosh, here we go. Are we
Let's
ready?
see.
So as you can see,
suspense.
it's like building a character, a paragraph
Yeah.
of all of the things that you want to have
Yeah.
in there as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's thinking a little bit there. Oh my gosh, look at this. This
That's
is so cool.
I love those little spears that it
Yeah.
has.
I think a lot of times too, what I really love about this is when you are pressed for time and it's really tough to find the time to do,
Yeah.
and maybe you don't want to find 6 or 7 different Adobe stock images, to have this kind of as my starting point
Yes.
is pretty cool.
Or sometimes you can't even find what you're thinking of.
Exactly.
So then you can just type in, here's what I'm thinking of,
Mhm.
and it will pop up.
Yes, exactly. So let it do kind of all the work for you, right? You're
Yes.
getting all these cool things. I even hit generate more, and we're getting some.
Some of these are so crazy.
Look at that. So I'm gonna go with this one. I think that gives us enough room here to put one and maybe the second one over here off to
Yeah.
the side. So you're gonna download basically here. It's telling you the PNG is best for this image, and you're gonna download it, okay? And it was that quick. I mean,
So easy.
I'm still impressed at how much it can generate so quickly for
Yeah,
us,
yeah.
and we can see this really cool stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, so guess where we're going? We're going back to Dimension, and we've got these models that we have. Now all I have to do is go to my downloads. There's that little image with the bottles right there. And all I'm gonna do is just drag it into this open space that is our background, okay? Now this might look a little funky because all of a sudden we're like, this doesn't work, right? Something's not working here. So I'm just gonna take the double arrow here, and notice all I'm doing is just moving these a little bit here. And we can really get, let's see, I think maybe size-wise, these probably need to be a little bit in scale. So
Yeah.
if you double-click this, these are kind of your main controls. You have move, and you have rotate, and then you have your scale tool. So if I go to scale and just grab it and like, whoops, let's get all of them together. There we go. We'll go back to scale, and now you can see I'm moving it all in sync. Looks great. Go back here, double-click, and you get this move one. And all I got to do is slide this little thing here, and you can see I like the idea that one's kind of cut off, and maybe
Yeah.
the purple because it's the one that's closest to the background color.
Yeah.
That looks good.
That looks great.
Okay, so everything looks pretty well there. What's the one thing are you noticing that's a little bit off, just because we've brought in one image into something totally different?
lighting.
Exactly, right?
Yep.
So there's a quick way you can mess with this and actually get something to match really, really well. What Dimension can do is it can look at the background and figure out not only its perspective, but the lighting.
That's
And then
awesome.
it will reflect that on your models. And now you get this realistic thing
Yeah.
that is just out of this world, really, really cool. And like you said earlier, if there's any questions, guys, I know maybe a lot of you are seen Dimension a few times, but if you need a little bit more kind of clarity on some of the things I'm doing,
Yeah.
slow me down, ask a question, and we'll definitely go for it. So what you do is you click on the background, and notice here you get this little prompt here called match image. And when I click on that, we have a few things that we can do. It could resize the canvas based on the image aspect ratio. I don't think I need that right now because I'm really happy with the way it looks.
I think it looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn that one off. But notice I'm gonna keep the create lights on. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna look at the image itself, and you'll see it's probably gonna add a
Amazing.
bit of a purplish tint, maybe a little bit, but let's give it a shot. I'm gonna hit okay. And you'll see it's kind of doing there you go.
Wow.
So automatically you got something really cool there
Yeah.
as well. But our shadows aren't matching.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is you're gonna go to the global rotation, and you can see here, all of a sudden now, I can kind of mess with this a little bit, see where it would be, line up nice. I think the shadows are kind of going more towards the back, like that.
Yeah.
And again, so I can zoom out a little bit here and get these a little bit smaller. You can go in and finesse and have some fun with these as well. But what's nice about it is this might slow me down a little bit here on my computer, but if I click the quick render, you can see all of a sudden it's gonna give you a little slightly better preview of what this is. And if that looks a little bit too bright, I can go right in here and I can take the global intensity down a little bit, and then I'll click it about here, because it's always, this will give you the best kind of quick render before
Yeah.
you actually do the actual render,
Yeah.
that in some cases could take 5 to 10 minutes,
Right.
and we're not
You
going to
can
do
get a
that here.
preview first.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know,
that's awesome.
so it's really neat to have this as well. The one thing you can do, which is really super cool, is I can literally just do a save as. The cool thing about a Dimension is here I can do a simple thing and just call it canisters 2, and it keeps everything in there as well. But let's say we want to try a totally different background that I previously done based on those prompts as well. So I'm going to do that. Basically, I'm going to take this one and I'll show you how it works. You just literally trash your background. Put it in there as well. And again, move these around, get them to a spot that you like. There was one other little cool background that I found here earlier that was on Express. Where is it? It is this one, I believe. So we were trying different ones earlier with like, yeah, so look at this one.
I love the stacking
right?
toys.
Exactly.
And the apple.
Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
So keep in mind, it still has the lighting from the previous one.
Right.
But what we could do is I'm gonna take just our models, okay? And now this is where you can have a little fun with the scale here. Let's get these down a little bit. And now we're gonna lower them, whoops, ooh, that's squashing them. That was the wrong one. We go back to our move tool, and we're gonna go here. Okay, cool. So now I know what I've got to do is kind of work with the space that I have. So if I kind of move these around, oh, I think I got to bring them actually closer. So we're going to go here, here.
There we go.
And now make them smaller. Yeah. So remember, you're kind of in 3D space, which
right.
is
So you're
always
in this world.
a little bit funky.
Yeah.
Like you think so just 2D with every other thing that you work with.
Right.
Right? So here, we'll move these over. Perfect. Look at that.
That's amazing.
Okay, now remember what we did. Let's match the lighting. So we'll go here, take this one off. Now we're creating lights for this background. So it should just slightly take it a little bit different. Let's see what it does. Ooh, it got it a little bit too dark, huh?
Yeah,
so
very purple.
So we're gonna get that global intensity up, and then we can, this is the coolest thing too, is like if you got white packaging, I'm sure you know shooting white packaging with all the flares and the reflection is a little bit tough. So if it does this, you can literally go to environment, pop it up a little bit more. Here's where you can play with some things and see how it's actually gonna do. But you also have this in starter assets, go all the way down here. And you do have, these are all regular cool things to mess with. So you can go right into there and see. So there's a huge difference here with the way I used to go. I used to just send flats to a client and go like, what do you think? Then I started getting into a rendering or a mock-up. Now you can get dimension, and now you can even get a really cool background just to kind of really tell the whole story right from Express. And I mean, like, I think a client would think you spent hours on this.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Well, this is also great if you're trying to just build up your portfolio.
Totally.
So you're working on, designing packaging for your portfolio.
Yeah.
And you can create things like this, put them onto your website. Potential clients can see what you can do. And you don't have to spend the money to do a photo shoot or all of these other things,
It's like fake it till you make it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And passion projects.
So professional.
Right? Whatever you might do. I think a lot of times too, if you're out there searching for, I know a lot of people are searching for jobs, and you might find that brief for a job matches you perfectly, but it says, make sure there's coffee in your background, because we're a coffee company. Here's a great way to create a cool little project, get it in your portfolio, and it will look the same as a digital agency out there that for a fraction of the cost and time. So it's really cool. Perfect. Okay, so we finished the toddler one here. I think this is really kind of fun to mess with. So we got all these really cool ones to mess with. The cool thing too you guys can do, you could take this basically, and now I'm going to show you something really fun. If you are messing with stuff and you got some cool packaging that you want to play around with, I can actually kind of raise one up.
Oh, cool.
Right? And then in your starter assets here, notice you have all these cool things, like you have disc, you have this rounded thing here as well. I'm going to try the disc here. And then what I'm going to do is, as you slide it, notice it's kind of giving me an idea of where it's going to place it. Okay. I'm in the high res, so I'm going to turn that off. This thing, we're going to take it and we're going to make it a little bit smaller. So I want it just slightly bigger than the actual can itself, right? And then we're going to move it over. All right, there we go. Right about there. And then we can actually go into the size one and we can stretch it and make it a little bit smaller there. And move it over here a little bit. So you use the arrows to really kind of calculate where everything's going to go. So now with this one and the scale tool, I can actually make this a little bit thicker. So we take this. Let's see, is this working? Ooh, because I think it's a disc, and I think I need a rounded.
Oh, like a cylinder.
Yeah.
Or
Look at you. You already figured this out. Here we go. So let's take this one out. We'll bring in the cylinder.
Cool.
There we go. Oh. You know that was going to happen. Make it smaller here. There we go. Cool. We can make it a little bit wider.
Nice.
Cool. And a little bit smaller here as well. There we go. So the cool thing about this is you can actually make these kind of like little like pedestals that if you were actually doing this together.
Yeah.
And move this underneath it. So you see what I mean? You can have some fun here, and you can, particularly if you have two things that are the same thing and you want to change up the variety of this and kind of prop one up a little bit as well.
It looks more interesting.
Cool. All right, so we are gonna do the second one. So we're gonna go right back into here as well. And what we're gonna do now is this product, that one with the rocks that we like, that was really, really cool.
That's
I'm gonna go back to that really quick so you guys can see what we're doing. We'll go back to AI. Here we go. We really love this one here. And this was kind of cool, right? So you've got different packaging kind of like around these jagged rocks, and it really fits the vibe of it too. So I have another product that was already done in models, but let's go to Firefly and try to figure out how to make those come to life, right? So here's some of the prompts that I found that I think worked. We'll go over here. Okay. So I got studio background with rugged rocks, clean background, empty foreground. I was trying like everything to figure out like how can we get something that really gonna work.
Because if you just typed rugged rocks, it wouldn't, they would just be rocks.
Yeah, let's see. I mean.
Yeah, let's see what that does. But it wouldn't have that studio look, and you maybe wouldn't have space to put the products.
Exactly. And I think you're crafting it a little bit too by telling it specific. Oh, see, and then so it thinks we want to go on vacation.
Right. It did what you said, you know.
Exactly. And it filled in the blanks because I didn't give it much else, so it gave me water and everything.
Yeah.
So let's try this. I'm going to put in our thing. Studio background with rugged rocks, clean background, empty foreground. So let's see what this kind of does. So I tested this earlier just to make sure, because I was sitting here thinking we might kind of go above and beyond an hour if we're not a little bit more fine-tuned with what we want here. There we go. Look at this.
Awesome.
And it's really neat. It's kind of got an illustrated vibe, but we can mess around with that.
Because it's on art, right? So you could change it to a different
Ooh, even that one's cool. So let's go back up here. We're gonna go to art, and then we'll go to photo. Let's go for photorealistic and see what happens. So again, it's taking those images that we just saw, and let's see what we get. You know what the other cool thing about this too, for folks that are so used to using mock-ups and things like that, you're doing something so original here. How many times have you seen something you're like, oh, I know that PSD mock-up, right?
Yes. Yeah. You're making your own mock-up.
Exactly. Yeah. So you can breeze through here and see what you've got. I think this is great. Like this one's kind of cool too. That one is
cool. I like that.
Because we got some different levels, which is kind of neat too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna load a few more just to see if we can get anything that's a little bit more jaggedy. If not, we could try this one and see how it looks.
I wonder if you said jagged rocks, because you said rugged.
Ooh, rugged. You're right. Look at you.
I mean, it's worth a try.
That looks kind of cool.
I like this one. Ooh. I like the lighting on that.
I'm going to save this one.
Okay.
And then let's try the jagged, right? So let's go there. We'll download that. So we got these rocks. I think this is going to be a neat one.
I think that one's cool.
I know what these images look like. We'll go to it in a second and see how it looks. But let's try. So here, instead of rugged, we're going to go jagged. There we go. Let's see what we have. I can only imagine like someone in the background going like, there's a difference between rugged and jagged rocks, and Adobe knows it. Like, thank you, Sensei.
There you go.
Ooh,
kind of.
Yeah, let's look at some of the other
ones. I still
ones.
like the last one that you had more maybe, but
it feels like the canyon. It feels like, and it's got like, and I love that it has those.
Yeah.
But these are like, I'm looking at every one of these and thinking what other things I could use them for, right?
Oh yeah.
They're automatically making me think like, oh, this is really cool. Like I could definitely use this for something else.
Well, that's the thing about this too, is I feel like I'm more inspired just typing things in and seeing what comes up.
Exactly.
It generates inspiration for you as well, and then you think about what you can build off of that.
It's
so
really
it's
cool.
a great, if you're feeling uninspired, just go into Firefly and type some things out, and inspiration will come.
What do you guys think? Is there anything we're missing before we build that one? We've got one good one that we're gonna try, but is there anything else you think would be a really good thing to add in here as well? So we've got studio background with jagged rocks. Maybe what I gotta do is maybe put jagged rocks in the foreground, right?
Yes.
Let's see, maybe it's just the order that we have it.
Oh, Daniel asked, is text to image official in Express or is it in beta like Photoshop?
I think we're official now.
I think it's
right?
official.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we are there.
Yes.
I think that just happened
A couple
recently.
days ago, right?
And
Or
that's
last
why
week,
we're
maybe?
kind of the whole day
Yes.
here. I think is to celebrate, right?
Yes.
Cool. So we got studio background with jagged rocks in the foreground. That it's really emphasizing that. Let's just see what we get.
Okay.
It's kind of neat to see. And then we haven't even talked colors or anything, but I think
Right.
we could say more stone. We could say these look a little bit more like clay,
Yeah.
which kind of like I think works. I think either one's gonna work fine for this.
Absolutely. Oh, that's cool.
Very nice. So these are doing some really cool ideas here. I think we're
like
good with the
that,
one that we
yeah.
have though.
Yeah.
Yeah. But isn't it neat to see that it's figuring these things out? And that's like
Yes.
the fact that it's like a puzzle piece of the way the rock is kind of laid. It's not just mushing it together. And
No.
I love that. That's really something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go back to our dimension here, and we're good with this one. So I'm gonna hit open, and we have, let's see, Adobe Live, and we're gonna go to, I believe it's the collection, or should we go to the bottles? Let's see that one. So this one's got some really cool, this is great, autosave. Yeah.
It's a great
It's like,
reminder.
Nick, you didn't save on that one. You might want to do that now before we
in
move on to
case.
the next one.
If you're just joining us, Nick just pulled an image that he created in Express using Firefly in Express, and he's going to be adding it to this image in Dimension and creating a cool little photographic scene.
There we go. Okay, so in downloads, we have our rocks here. I'm gonna take it over, move it in here. Oh man, the colors really vibe here, huh? This is kind of cool.
Yes.
All right, so let's look at it here. We have a tall one. Maybe the tall one we can put like maybe leaning up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I love product leaning.
Now,
Do it often.
here's what I'm doing. I'm actually moving. So here's where you can move. See how the plane moves too?
Crazy,
But I think
yeah.
what I want to do is make sure that it's about as straight on of a perspective of them right now.
Cool.
Okay. So we're gonna move this one over. Here's where I can move it. Now notice when I go back, it's not getting
yeah.
smaller, it's getting further away
It's the
from
perspective.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's
when
amazing.
I put this here and I find a good spot for it, now I take this green thing and I can move it and actually rotate it because I don't want the name to be hidden, right? I want this to be here.
Yeah.
And now notice I've got all these other things that I can start tilting
Wow.
and getting them right where I want them to be. And we can get this a little bit higher. Now, notice it's casting a cool little shadow already there.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna try, what do you think? As far as placement goes, where would your photographic eye put this guy? Do you wanna put him front and center? Do you wanna gather them together in maybe one little cluster? What do you think?
Like all three together, or?
Or put them separately?
I think put them separately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fill up the space.
Let's do it.
Can you have layers in Dimension?
You can actually, it's considered more like grouping, right?
Okay.
And I know we've been using this a lot in my class where I teach,
Yeah.
and if any Cal State Northridge folks are there, what's going on?
Hello.
Some of my students have been figuring out, so basically in the scene area here, you can take things and group together, and then you can turn them off basically as a hidden layer
Yeah.
and have an alternative with it as well.
Okay.
So
That's cool.
And then
Yeah.
one of my students did something really cool where they treated the whole space as one big photo room. They built a scene here, then turned it like 45 degrees, built another one. So the whole one file had 4 different
That's
scenarios
crazy. That's
in this
cool.
like studio space, which I just thought was the coolest thing. It really is neat what you can do with this.
That is
So I don't want to stretch it. We're gonna move this and go here. And we'll get this a little bit higher here. Now see, I'm casting a shadow. So right now this is too close to me.
Yeah.
So what I have to do is push it back.
Because you want it to be sitting on the rock,
And
not
then
floating.
so you mess with those two. And did you see how it locked?
Yes.
It almost found that, and it's like now it's casting a good little shadow in there as well, which is pretty cool.
That's so impressive, yeah.
This is great. Now this one here, maybe what we could do is fully do this kind of like leaning up against that rock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful.
So we're gonna go to here, and I'm gonna spin this around here, and then we're gonna take this one and knock it back like that. And it looks like he's coming too close to me, so I'm gonna tilt it back. There we go.
Aw.
And now let's maneuver it with the move tool. So we're gonna go, let's see if I go here, and And here. A lot of this is really playing with it, guys, and figuring out what's going to work, where are these things going to kind of fit, kind of have some fun here, and then go back to our rotate, and we can get this to lean right up against that rock there. There we go.
Cool.
Not too bad.
Looks
Cool.
great.
Okay, so last but not least, let's mess with the lighting. So we're gonna go with match image. We're gonna go here, keep the create lights on, and let's see what happens. So we're kind of close. They're really in a good hue.
Yeah.
That created a bit of a sun. So always look here first, check the quick render at the top.
Yeah.
And you can see it's kind of a little lackluster, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, the light does look like it's coming from the back.
It does. Yes, that's true. It did catch that, which is pretty good.
Yeah, which is cool.
So if I move that global intensity, let's see, down, that will darken it a little bit. So actually, it is quite realistic when it
is.
Right?
But could you add a light coming from the front? Okay.
Perfect. Good idea. So let's see.
Because you want the products to be lit well.
So one of the things you can do is if I take this and we zoom out a little bit here. Oh, wait, zoom in. Come on now. Oh, it's because we have the background. That's right. Let's get that here. And we'll go back to our starter assets and let's look at some of the lighting here that we have. So directional lights, we already have that set. So environmental lights, what we can do is kind of look around here and see, like, let's try Studio Softbox.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so there it's hitting it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Bring the intensity maybe here. Work with that as well. Kind of get that there. And it's kind of nice the way it works. This full render, when you do it, will actually get a lot of this cartoony kind of like looking foreign to it. It does resonate with a little bit more of a drop shadow once you go to the full render. So when you are messing around with this, guys, one thing I always say is, like, start with one thing, a simple background, do a quick render, and let it go for a few minutes, and then you can kind of see how good you're doing with that particular area, which is really, really cool. So the cool thing you can mess with is you can actually make these a little bit more metallic. So all you have to do is, I'm double clicking on the source. So the source of the image is what we made in Illustrator and is now in the library. I can swing over this metallic and give it a little bit more of this like metallic kind of shine to it. And that's obviously darkening it a little bit and kind of giving us a little bit more depth as well, which is kind of cool. And you can see you're doing something really kind of cool there as well. So there's a lot you could do. I can save this as is, mess around with it a little bit more, but what's cool is the idea that it's picking up the lights, it's giving you some cool reference to kind of mess with, and it's kind of setting a tone for the client. Yeah. Really before you've even done anything else.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Very cool.
All right. Any questions at all? I think everybody's looking pretty cool.
I think so, yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, keep questions coming if you have any more. Feel free to drop them in the chat.
Okay, so this one we're gonna look at the product first, and then I'm gonna have yourself and chat give us some ideas for the prompt. Okay.
Get ready, everyone.
So I'm saving this one. Okay, we're gonna go here, and I believe it's called the collection is the one, I think. Is that what it was? That was the bottles. Okay, cool. So this is a same brand, but it's all kind of a little bit more boxed, and it's a little bit more elite. It's kind of like if this was the limited edition version of the brand, right? So we have a box, we have a tube, and we have this cool little jar. So I'm leaving it up to you guys, the art directors. What do we want to mess with here? Any ideas from you guys for the background for that? I'll go back to here so you guys can get
see it one more time.
A closer look at it. And that is here. So zooming in a little bit, you can see it's got some like really nice kind of natural kind of almost topographic kind of like lines at the top. There's wood grain. Considering this one being like, let's say you were doing the limited edition version or something, or something really special. What do we got? Anybody have something there they want to?
Anyone have any ideas?
Give a try.
I was thinking even Clever says Rockstar Pyrotechnics. That's awesome.
Let's
go with it.
We have to at least see what that's going to
We have to try.
Right? Rockstar and then
Pyrotechnics.
There we go.
Pyrotechnics, if that's right. Fancy background with some gold. We could add some gold in there. Yeah. Gold always makes things look elevated. Yeah.
It's the first thing we do, right?
Yep.
So this is just for you, Clever. We just want to see. Oh, look at that. It's giving us.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's like we're at a concert. This is fantastic. Sometimes those two words that have nothing to do with each other, like it's so neat. Like, hey,
it's like, here you go.
This could be something you need for a flyer or something kind of cool.
Absolutely.
Look at these results are incredible.
Awesome.
All right, so Oh, let's say, what about like desert with
Yeah,
some...
I was thinking like sand, or you know when there's like the rock gradient, like when there's like the rock layers.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know what
like
that is
like what do they call it? Like when you see through, it's cut and you see the layers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Or what are those rocks that you like break open and then there's the gems inside?
See, look at us.
I wish I
know.
knew the names of these things, but
oh yes, and you could see all the layers.
Geodes? Is that what it's called?
Geodes?
Geode? I might be wrong.
I was gonna say fossil, but like how?
Oh,
like,
fossil.
Yeah. Fossil like.
And I like the
rocks,
idea of adding some gold in there.
Flat foreground.
Oh, geode. Clever says geode.
Oh, geode.
Yeah.
Cool. And that's
Geode.
Geode. Hey, we'll put it in the mix and see what a flat
desert
foreground.
And some aloe vera plant. That's cool too.
Let's say sun. I'll say warm autumn colors.
Yeah.
What else, guys? Anybody else got
some
something?
golds.
Yeah. Oh, gold highlights.
Gold highlights. Yeah.
Express is going, who are these people? I love it.
What is happening?
Let's give this one a shot and see what happens. So trying to keep the idea of the kind of like flat foreground is my art direction to kind of keep some space for the thing there. But like,
oh, interesting.
Ooh, like how would you even describe that?
I don't know. That's cool.
Let's see what else we get here.
Well, and these are the kinds of things where if you were to go out and source stuff like this, it could be so expensive.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So
this is giving me the vibes of maybe we can do an overhead. You know, when you see
a flat lay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at you with the me, the graphic designer, trying to come up with photography terms. I love it.
No,
What do you call it?
a flat lay.
Flat lay.
'Cause
Okay,
it's
perfect.
laying
I love.
flat.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. I think this could work because now you could change the whole camera angle on dimension to go on top.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And we'll lay everything down.
I love
So
that.
how are we doing? We still got a good amount of time.
Yep.
Perfect. So this is. I think this one looks great.
I think that one's really fun.
I don't even think this exists because we added the gold and everything. Like you
Yeah,
can't match this.
This is
in
probably
real life.
not real,
This is,
but it's awesome.
this is probably
I
not
love it.
real. Good one. All right,
It's real for us.
let's do it. Hey, it's real for the client saying,
Yes.
bingo,
Yes.
you nailed it, right? This looks great. I love that. Okay, perfect. So we're gonna go back here. Now, before I bring it in, right now you can see the grid. We have a camera looking straight at these, right? I want to kind of go up and above and
Yeah,
fix this,
and then
right?
lay them down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here. And then what I'm gonna do is with the orbit tool, kind of move these so I can see them right from the side. Oh look, I even have
What's your
some.
little plant
I have
over
some
there?
trees over here.
Look at that.
Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna take them out for now. So we got this one here. Now all you're gonna do is with this kind of move tool, or actually we can stay here, and I think we can do everything from here. I'm gonna take this and this together. Let's see, will it work together? There we go. Now I'm gonna levitate it, right? So you can see basically what we're doing is I'm getting it off the surface. Now with this one, I'm gonna tilt it this way.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Okay. And I need to elevate it a little bit more. So we're gonna get it just slightly off there. And then we can do the same with this one. So I'm gonna make this one here. And what's nice is you get the preset, you can see right when you're at 90. So all you have to do is kind of get it right there and you know you've got it perfectly done.
Yeah.
So now we're magicians, we're levitating
Yeah.
right over here.
That's awesome.
Move it again and now you're gonna be able to see where everything is in kind of in space. So all I gotta do is get these a little bit more together. So I'm gonna move this one over here and then down right there, and then this one here, and I believe it's a little bit in front of it, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's go here.
That's really cool.
Cool, and then we'll turn it this way. I think we can do the same here, so let's see. Oh, nope. Let's see.
Oh yeah, flip it to the front.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This might have stumped me here. How did we do that? Let's go here. Okay. There it is. Ah.
There we go.
Nice. Perfect. Okay. So
Yeah, the labels are so important.
ooh, we got a little squish
There you
there on
go.
that art.
Yeah.
So if you ever have that, you double click on the actual, let's see. You can see that my logo has kind of like gotten a little bit squashed there. So let's take this. I'm hearing the fan go off. Always good. There we go. So all you gotta do, you basically just fix that like that.
Cool.
Okay. And then this one needs to turn. Perfect, like that. And see how I've got like the metallic
That
only on that?
reflection, yeah.
It's really cool.
That's beautiful.
Okay. All right. So for some reason, I wonder why this one is kind of not, is it this? Oh, here, I can.
Oh, it's just the light, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna turn it a little bit like that. Cool. And then for this one, before we bring in the background, let's make it a little bit bigger. And, oops. See, sometimes you hit those ones and it's like the wrong one. So if you keep it on here, you can get all access to all those tools.
That's cool.
So perfect. All right, let's get that background and see how we did here. So over here, there's our rocks.
Oh.
Hey,
That's awesome.
we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool. So real quick, I'm gonna do the match image. I'm gonna keep that on and see. Ooh, before I do that, here's another trick. Right here you have bookmarks. So when you have placed everything like we've just done and you don't wanna lose this actual position. Imagine if the camera was on a rig and it's locked in. All you have to do here is literally hit the plus sign and you can say top view.
Oh, yeah.
1. Okay, and hit save. So it's a bookmark and it's
Okay.
ready to go. So if
So you
I
can go
mess
back
this
to
up,
it. Yeah.
I can go right back
That's
to it.
awesome. That's
which
so
is
good
great.
to know.
So let's try we'll hit the background, we'll hit match image, and we're gonna leave that one on and see what it does. So we got both lights and perspective are gonna kind of shift a little bit. So, ooh, we got way dark on that. Let's see what happens. Kind of, it really is taking a lot of that gold that
Yeah.
we put in there.
Yeah.
So maybe, let's see, if we do an undo, let's see, there it is. All right, cool. Maybe we try this on our own. So the match lighting in most cases will really do a good job, but I have found that like, sometimes it's just getting in there and messing with these a little bit.
Yeah. Sometimes you know better
Yeah.
than the computer.
So we got Warm Studio. We'll try this one. It's getting a little bit better. Let's see. How about this one here? A little dark. Topanga Forest. That kind of helps a little bit.
Yeah.
There we go. Maybe if we just go back to the default. Ooh, we're getting somewhere now.
Oh, I like the texture on
Let's
the
get the
box there.
There we go. Yeah, isn't that great?
That's cool.
How you can see that in there so
Yeah,
clear.
that's really
It's
cool.
really nice. So, oh, this is great. It can really get optimum control as far as what you want to do. I'm actually looking at the studio display. It's actually bigger, so I
Yeah.
can figure that out. We'll go intensity down a little bit. And then if this metallic is too much, you literally can just swing this down a little bit here and kind of match the other one. So this one looks like it's got a lot on it. There we go. And we'll take the metallic down. There we go. So we're getting somewhere with that. We can truly mess around with it a little bit more. But I love the fact that it's kind of a unique one where it caught the gold. It's got some dark blues in there as well, which is kind of nice to see how it kind of mimics together as well, which is really
Yeah,
cool.
that's really beautiful.
Awesome. So maybe let's do one more with this one, and I'll save this one, and we'll do one more. Like, what's another idea we could do with another bit of Express? Do you want to try something more subtle, more outdoors? What do you think?
Okay, chat, throw out your ideas. I mean, it would be cool to do something like this, but taking it back to more studio.
Yeah.
Like with the gold rock geode thing.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah, studio.
but we'll see if anyone else has any ideas. Feel free to drop them in the chat. We have about 10 minutes left. So
Okay.
if you have ideas, throw them in. Or if you have any more questions, now's the time to ask.
Let's try gold rocks. I'll try one here while we're waiting for
Okay,
one.
cool.
Let's see what this does. So I did studio background with scattered gold rocks.
Yeah.
You never know
See
what
what
can
it will
happen. This
Oh,
is
the
great.
desert. We could go back to more like
Ooh.
desert sands
Yes,
kind
I
of.
kind of like that.
Oh, that's cool too, though.
That's looking very almost like Godiva chocolate there.
Yeah,
huh?
it really is. I like desert. Oh, or how about making them wash up on the beach?
Ooh.
That's cool too. We can combine like sands,
Yeah.
Beach,
so
desert,
I'll say
a
beach,
deserted island.
beach sand in the foreground with a beach ocean behind it.
Yeah.
I love. Sometimes
Island
I find I like. Please provide a.
Yeah.
It's funny how you like you want to be nice to AI.
Yeah.
It's really great. So we're doing
listen to me.
beach sand in the foreground with a beach ocean behind it. Ooh, gosh.
Wow.
Pretty, and it's kind
And
of...
it really put the ocean behind.
It did.
in the background.
And trying to find that area where it's going to give us enough of a foreground
Yes.
to place the actual, like that one's cool because you get that, you almost got that hill. Do you see
Yeah.
where there's like a divider line here?
And I like that little seaweed. Is that seaweed or something
Yeah.
right there? That's kind of cool.
Okay, so let's try that.
You can even add some shells or something.
Oh, look at you. Let's do that. All right. Okay. Scattered.
Joshua, you absolutely want to be kind to the AI overlords.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Scattered shells on the sides. Let's see if that can actually
Okay.
give us that. That would be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
Because I want that middle part
Right,
kind of
you want
vacant.
them to be, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. It's working overtime for us
Yeah.
right now, guys. Let's see. Oh,
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of in the middle.
yeah. I think that we'd have to zoom in a lot on that
Yeah.
one, but let's see some of the other options. If not, we could take the shells out. One thing too, like you can do isolated shells
Yeah.
literally on this,
Yeah.
and then in Photoshop you can
Yeah.
bring them in and have a little
I
fun
think
with it.
sometimes that works almost better if you need something very specific. Is
Yes.
to like make the scene and then add the things that you need to do using
Exactly.
like Photoshop or
Yeah, think of the Firefly Express kind of feature as a way of quick little stock
Yeah.
photography things
yeah.
that you
Like,
need.
I want a shell right here. You just generate that shell right there.
Hey, that actually put in some shells on this one. Let's see. So we want that one that was a little bit more, it had a nice flat kind of
Yes.
beginning to see. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. That one has a little bit of a ridge. This one's a little too perspective. I might think that one,
That
we
one's
can
cool.
place it maybe somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So let's do a download. Perfect. Okay. All right. We're going back to this. So now we've got to put, oh, real quick, we can really try, let's try this. I'll save that one there.
Okay.
But let's just do overhead shot of beach sand. And
Okay.
see, maybe this would be fun to just try because we got that ready to go. Uh-oh. Did I
Oh.
angle? Let's see.
Yeah, maybe it's like the word shot.
I know. Oh, that's right. Yes.
Maybe.
I think that was it.
It could be.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't understand.
Yep.
Different words.
Yes.
Different words.
Ah,
Oh, that's cool. I
That's
like that
really
corner
nice.
and the texture of the sand there.
definitely nice.
That's
All right.
beautiful.
Let's download that and see what
And the
happens.
lighting.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Perfect. Okay. So this could be a quick fix to see, because maybe that, I think sometimes with the background, if it has too much variety in it, it doesn't know how to do the lighting for it, which I totally get. So let's
Sure,
bring in
yeah.
the sand right off the bat, and we'll do match image. We'll take the resize off that, and let's see how the lights go.
Joshua says, I just think about AI becoming more aware and remembering how I treated it in the past.
I think that all the time. There we go. Ooh, that's looking good. That looks really cool. And
Awesome.
it's figuring out, I think there's a little bit of that darker shadow on the top, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Right?
That's really cool.
Okay, do we have time? What do we got?
We got a few minutes.
Let's do it. Okay, so let's get that other one that we had, which was the beach one, and we'll bring it in here. So don't forget, our images are not correct right now. So what we have to do is kind of get them back upright.
Right.
So I'm gonna move like this. And you can do it all together, which is pretty cool. Grab all three. I'll zoom in a little bit here. And we're going to lift them up again. And we are going to bring them over like that.
That's awesome.
Oh, and this is great too because you can actually mimic them kind of in the sand.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Very cool.
Okay, so our angle's a little bit off, so we're gonna go here. Oh yeah, look at it's
That's
like they're
awesome.
actually in the
They
sand.
look, yeah, they really look like
That's
it.
really neat. Okay, cool. So this one we can obviously go a little bit lower on. Here we are. Ooh, we're saving the best for last, guys.
It's very fun.
And then just for the composition here, I'm gonna make this one a little bit bigger because it's in the middle. There we go. Composition wise, what do you think? You seeing anything you would mess with? Like,
I love it. I would maybe bring the little shorter one in front of that box a little bit.
this one?
The shorter,
This guy.
that guy, yeah.
Whoops.
Like, can he come in front of the box a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Joshua says, this one looks super pro.
Ooh, thanks, Josh. There we go.
Yeah, something
Look
like
at
that.
that.
Some connection.
Cool. Now I think turning maybe this one too
Yeah.
is gonna help, because they shouldn't be perfectly placed, you know?
Yeah. Turn it a little bit, and then what if the one on the left is leaning against the box?
Oh, you got it. There we go.
Robert says it looks great, Nick.
Oh, awesome. Let's give it a little space. Wow. Look at
that.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
So you can basically go in now and like, I think we got the angle right. I can make all three slightly bigger just for this before we try anything else. Cool.
Makes me want to go on vacation.
Hey, I know, right?
Yeah.
And bring some good sunscreens.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I forgot what all these were.
They could definitely be sunscreen.
So let's hope we get the best lighting match here. So
Okay,
I'm
let's
gonna
go for it.
save this as is, so that way we know we love everything we got. We'll take the canvas resize off, take the perspective off. I think we're loving that. Let's go here and see what we do. Okay, so looks better there than on here, but let's try the quick one and see what happens. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
It's getting some real vibes there, huh, guys?
Yeah, it really is.
I'm digging that. Wow, this is cool. So I'll do a quick recap, guys,
Okay.
because I know we have just a few seconds left.
Yep.
We started in Illustrator. We have our art ready to go for anything we're going to bring into Dimension. We go in and we had some fun over on Adobe Express doing all these cool backgrounds. So much fun to mess around with and see. I think this is like the coolest stuff to kind of merge two of these things that
Yes.
don't technically sound like they would go together.
Yeah.
But you get all this fun stuff to mess with. And then our end results are in Dimension, and we get to have something like this, and we can wow the client without even real samples
Yeah, I think it looks
in
awesome.
the concept stage, right?
Absolutely. It's
perfect.
Absolutely. You can give them so much context.
Yeah.
And show them like, here's what it could look like, or here's different. You could even show like, here's 3 different like background options that we could have,
Yeah.
and 3 different like kind of scenarios that you could have, and what
Exactly.
direction do you want to go in.
You know what's also great too is allows you to start being looked at. Like, I know a lot of times we don't do social media, but
Yeah.
when we've created something like this, they might go back to us later, months down the road when it's done, and they're like, can we have some of those files that we
Yeah.
created? Now all of a sudden, these are some quick ways you can do. Let's say they're testing a new flavor and they
Yes.
haven't really produced it yet. This is something we can do and have
Yeah.
a lot of fun with.
Absolutely.
It's really cool.
That's very cool. Yeah, Chris says, hey, looking good, Nick. Joshua says, I love high-end
Hey, what's up,
sunscreen."
Chris? How's it going, buddy?
Yes.
Good to see everybody.
Yes. Thank you so much for being here. Cool. Yeah. Well, I think we're good to go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed that, guys.
Yeah, I hope you guys had a great time. Stick around. We're going to be showing more Adobe Express coming up, so make sure that you stay tuned for the rest of the day, and we will see you guys soon.
Perfect. Bye, guys.
everyone.
Hello.
I'm Ellie.
I'm Arabella.
And we are Weekend Creative. We are a photography agency in San Jose, California. But today, we are not going to be doing photography. We're going to be doing something a little different, which is going to be really fun. We are going to be playing around in Illustrator and then in Express. And yeah, I'm excited. It's kind of fun to do something different.
I know, and you get to be the one designing and creating stuff, so that's exciting too.
It's gonna be great.
But yeah, so it's all about creating, a brand guide, an Illustrator, and bringing that over and using Adobe Express to kind of like flesh out, different type of content for our pretend business. What is our pretend business, Ellie?
Our pretend business is we are opening a pizza parlor. And okay, so this is kind of a combination of multiple ideas. We've always just talked about having a cocktail bar and how fun that would be. My husband has always talked about having a pizza parlor, and so it's like, okay, what if we just kind of combine the two and make kind of like a cool pizza cocktail situation. But of course, it will be dog friendly. And
that's important.
My dog, Cooper, will be the mascot of this pizza parlor.
Amazing.
So, we're going to be kind of making a really quick, very simple brand guide here in Illustrator, and then I'm going to show you guys how much you can do in Express using some things that you create in Illustrator.
Yeah.
So please say hello in the chat.
Yes, please do.
Let us know if you guys have questions or ideas as we go along, and let us know where you're watching from too. It's always cool to hear how many different people we have and where you guys are all from. So
amazing.
Okay, so kind of as I mentioned, we have a photography business. We do commercial product photography. We work a lot with other businesses, and so I am not a graphic designer. I studied design in school, but I am not a graphic designer. I don't design on a regular basis, and I do art direction, but it's different, right? So I want to show you guys that even if you are not a graphic designer, you can become a graphic designer so easily using Adobe Express. And it's going to give you all the tools that you need to create some really awesome promotional tools for your business.
Exactly.
So what I'm going to start with is I'm first going to choose a little color palette. And what I have here is I actually screenshotted these. I'm going to show you guys some like little cheat tricks that I use since I am not a designer. So one of the people I love to follow, we love Lauren Wagner. She has a book called Palette Perfect, I think is her book.
Yes.
And I love her for color inspiration. She just makes these cool little collages, and then she pulls color palettes from those images, which is really cool. So I've screenshotted some of these that I really like, and I'm going to kind of combine a few, and I'm going to make my own little palette over here. So I'm using M. I'm going to make some little rectangles here. Oops. And I'm going to hold down Option and drag so that I can create multiple.
There you go.
Maybe we'll have like 5 colors.
Cool.
And let's make them a little smaller. Okay. Oops. Hold down Shift till I do that. So, okay. So let's see. I was kind of thinking like I like to have some kind of like bright poppy color. So red. I'm going to use my little eyedropper tool and pull that in. And then I really like this bright blue that's happening.
Ooh. That's a good color combo too.
Right? And then, I don't know, I was kind of into this green.
I'm kind of into that lime green too.
Right? And then I feel like we have to have some brown too because it's pizza, like pizza dough. And then maybe we will pick a neutral color that kind of can be like a background color for some of our graphics that the other colors can kind of pop against.
Oh, I love all these.
I don't know.
Guys, so sorry. We're not
Oh, we're not live.